that better, Wookie. Good evening, also. I'm hoping that's better. So Ninja goes at 130.4. Full send will be next. Someone in the chat could let me know if they can actually hear me now. Perfect. Cheers, lads. So Jeddah's one of them tracks whereas if you can hit every apex, hit every line you need to, there's a really nice track. But one small mistake and it usually leaves you in a barrier or with some kind of damage. So let's see what the racing brings this evening. As Dave crosses the line, he goes a 132 flat. Marshall will be next. He's just finishing sector 1. Gone out on the mediums. So Marshall goes a 130 flat as well. As Clay says, wheel disconnected twice on my inlet. That's not great. Hopefully you can get that sorted, bud. Seems to be quite a lot of those issues in this game with people's wheels disconnecting. I know that there's a couple of admins that usually have their wheels disconnect with the force feedback, so they have to quickly reset it on their formation laps before the race. I don't have that problem because I race on pad. I think it might be Gamepool or Wuban. It was Gamepool, whereas he is a 130.4. Wuban a 131.3. As close as, yeah, all force feedback went and the display and lights all went out as well, but it wouldn't let me press buttons, but it would let me turn. Yeah, I don't really understand why it does that in this game, to be honest. Hopefully they can get that sorted for the next game. So this is probably a good opportunity to have a little look at the driver standings. So at the moment you've got Max in first with 102, Jimmy in second with 92, Marshall with 91. So top three currently 11 points between them lot. So also sets a 131.6, and I can't see anybody else gonna go out unless Dave's gonna set a lap. So it appears that they're all gonna be through. Town says Dave needs to set a lap due to the 10% rule. I don't have a didgeridoo what the 10% rule is, lad. There's only 15 drivers, so I'm guessing that they're all going to make it through regardless. It's full send, 130.5. Puts himself P8. Also, Bosso is invalidated, yes again. Needs to be within 10% of the pole time to get through. Another stupid rule in F1, I suppose. So I'm pretty sure that's everyone now through from Q1. We'll be losing Wookie and Dan. So that is the end of Q1. And I have a black screen, which means I'm not going to be able to get the quali results. Fantastic. I'm watching the Fraser Clark versus Tete fight. I say watching loosely because I'm paying more attention to qualifying and trying to chow down some dinner. The one I'm actually interested in is the Cameron versus Whitaker fight, but I'm not gonna probably not gonna be able to watch that because I'll be watching you stick it into a wall, Wookie. So it's going to be Nerf Pack to set a time first, closely followed by Max. So we'll see what Nerf Pack can do. Dropped off the last couple of weeks, so let's see if he can pick it back up. So Nerf is just finishing sector 2. As Nerf comes around the final corner. He will set a 129.8. Max will set a 129.8 as well. Very close between them two at the moment. A 129.9 from both Clay and Hound. Ninja a 130.5. James Brown a 129.7. Marshall sets a 129.1. Correction, if I said a 129.8 for Max, that was a 128.8 for Max. Ruben sets a 131 flat. Curly was a 131.2. Gold 130.6. Chip sneaks in there with 129.9. Also Bosso a 131.5. Bull Send sets a 130.6. Not biased or anything, but come on the Mercs. Howsey looks like he's going to be the next one to set time, followed by Gameful. As Howsey comes down the pit straight, opens up the DRS, crosses the line and sets a 130 flat, puts himself P8 currently. Gameful has just started his lap. As Clay sets his time on used tyres. Good luck there, Clay. Showing a bit of pace the last couple of weeks. It's good to see. Hashtag tier 2 and bound. Gameful comes around the final corner. Gameful sets a 1:29.5, puts himself P3. It's a good lap from Gameful. It looks like Halsey may win again. Doesn't improve his time. Osso has retired, but I don't know why. Also, if you think you're safe, mate, I'm sorry to break it to you, but you need to be in the top 10, lad. 1:31.0 is what Wuban needs to improve on. Comes around the final corner. Slaps open a DRS. Goes 0.6 quicker, that's a 1:30.4. As also says, because this track is the worst and it's impossible to go higher and dangerous to others. He's going to go for his usual smoke break. James Brown is going to set the next time it appears. Might even be Chip before that. No, it is going to be James. Clay says he's going for driver of the day. Also says, besides, I don't smoke anymore, so yeah. Yeah, this track might be the undoing of that. I reckon you're going to at least smoke a pack of 20 after this track, lad. James did go slightly quicker through the first sector, it appears. He's now coming through the fast part of sector 2. See what his split time is. He's currently a 10th up. Chip is currently over on his time. He needs to find a little bit in this next sector. James crosses the line. He improves by almost half a second. Gets himself P3 at 1:29.2 currently. Chip has jumped into the pits. Gameful has invalidated. Hound is about to finish sector 2 and he is almost 4/10 over. It doesn't look like he's going to be improving very much through the last few corners. I think he might have backed off. Got a few guys coming out of the pit. Ninja. Stand board with Ninja, see what he can do. This rookie says he's smoking right now. Yeah, I wish I was as well, lad. I have to roll a quick ciggy and try and find a minute to go for it before race. Didn't see Ninja's first sector split, so we'll wait for the second sector split. See whether he's improving or not. He is. He's 7/10 better off with the first two sectors, so he's finding quite a bit of time. Let's see if he can hook up the final corner. Final corner is a difficult one for traction. Ninja goes a second quicker, puts himself P4 on 129.5. It's a good lap there from Ninja. Cut-off could be low 29s to get through. Actually, no, I don't know actually. Could be mid 29s to get through. High 28s to take pole. Jump on board with the guys that are in danger at the moment. That is Gould, Full Send, and Curly. Full Send has backed off. Maybe low fuel. No, just setting his lap up. So here we go again then. Gould has come around the final corner. Gould goes 7.5 tenths quicker, so 129.8. Is that going to be enough to see him through to Q3? We will soon find out. Hound has just started a lap. Dave is half a second over through sector 1. Hound is half a tenth worse off through sector 1. Yes, we've got Halsey. I'm not sure whether he's just finished a lap. Yeah, it looks like he's just finished a lap. Claire's just started one, and he's currently 1.5 tenths better off through the first sector. Let's keep an eye on Hound. Still telling me he's about half a tenth worse off through the 2 sectors, so let's see what his final sector is going to be. Teammate seems to be giving him quite a decent tow. Hound improves by half a tenth, puts himself P8. So it looks like Curly improved by 9 tenths, I think that said. So almost a second, puts himself P12, 130.2. Muban, that's telling me is a tenth up. Needs to find a little bit more time than that. Clay, I think, has just finished his lap. He's a 129.5. Puts himself P5. I think it might be Gainful next. No, I'm wrong. How is he? No, he's coming into the pit, so it is Wuban. And he's almost 4 tenths up through 2 sectors. Let's see what his final sector time is. And he goes almost half a second quicker. That's a 130 flat. I bet if you'd done another 100 laps, you wouldn't be able to do that again. It's just Gainful, but he's well over his time, so that looks like it could be it. So it appears like we will be losing Halsey, Wuban, Curly, Full Send Dave, and Oscar Bosso. So just confirmation then, max at 128.8, which is the time to beat currently for P1 and Q2. We will be losing Halsey, Ruban, Curly, Full Send, Osso, Bosso. I will be back in 2 seconds. So max sets are 128.7, Nerf are 129.5, Chip are 129.6, Hound is a 130 flat, Marshall are 129.2, James Brown is on an outlet. It's going to be Gameful next, it looks like. Game 4, 129.1. Evening, Halsey. Who's going to be on next? Northerner, I think that's Northern Nat. That's a class map for Max. Ninja will be next to set time. Ninja sets a 129.5. Who's going to be next? It's going to be James Brown. That'll be next. And he sets a 129.1. Puts himself P2 currently. I know what you meant, Matt. I'm taking the mic, mate. Which is very unlike me. Gould comes across the line. He sets a 129.6. So it's just Clay yet to set a time. Excuse me. Clay says he's not going to make the same mistake as last week, just going out on fresh tyres at the end. So we'll see whether that pays dividends for Clay. Game 4 looks like he's just started an outlap. excuse me. Let's see what game 4 can set. It's just about to finish sector 2. Clay needs to get out of the pits soonish. Here he comes. Game 4 improves by just under a tenth. 129 flat. Who will it be next to set a time? Looks like it's going to be Nerf. Nerf improves by almost 4/10. It's a 129.1 for him. Let's try and figure out who's going to be next. Clay is on an outlap. Marshall's on an outlap. I think it might be Max. Max is currently slightly over on his time. We'll see if he can hook up sector 3 as he comes round the final corner. Crosses the line and does improve by another tenth. It's a 128.6. Good lap time there from Max again. Let's see if game 4 is going to try and go again. Just about going to make the line by a second. Shit. Doesn't improve. James is about to cross the line. He sets a 129.1 but doesn't improve on his time. Who's going to be next? Gould is next and he's currently over on his time. Let's see if he made any inroads. He does slightly. Puts himself P6 currently. Ninja is going to be next. Ninja doesn't improve. Marshall is almost half a second up. This could get interesting between him and Max. Great lap from Marshall there, 128.4. Really good lap there. Hound a 130 flat. Is he going to improve on that? He does. 129.5. Puts himself P8. Clay sets a 129.6, but I've shifted a little bit too early at the final corner. But let's see what his race pace is like. And that is the final order of the top 10. Marshall P1, Max P2, Gameful P3, James P4, Nerf P5, Gould P6, Ninja P7, Hound P8, Clay P9, Chip P10. So just waiting for everyone to pick their tyres, do their strategies. So here we go then. Everyone doing the formations laps. Let's have a look at the tyres. Everyone deciding to start on the mediums apart from Wookie, Full Send and Woobound, all deciding to go on the hards. So hopefully everyone can get through the first couple of turns unscathed. Obviously there's some corners here where move does need to be done before the braking zone. Tricky track to overtake on. That's obviously DRS that's quite overpowered here. Other than that, you're usually following the car in front, so we'll see how that plays out for everyone tonight. About to state their starting positions. So here we go then. 5 red lights are out and away we go. Marshall and Max getting a good start. Marshall goes deep to allow Max the space. It looks like everyone's getting through fairly cleanly, which is good to see. Gameful manages to make it past James. Barely manages to make it past Ninja. Ninja goes off, comes back on. Max and Marshall appear to have almost broken the DRS of Gainful already. Max looking strong in the slipstream of Marshall. Dan already up 4 positions. The turn of race strategy is around about lap 11 for the mediums. Gainful has lapped onto the back of top 2. I have used a fair chunk of the DRS to do it. It's obviously a track that's not great for recharge. We'll see how that fares. Murph is just dropping off the back of James. There's a couple of gaps starting to open up. As it looks like we may have lost our sight. I think we did lose our sight. Yellow flag through sector 1. Guessing that's what's happened. Murph could come under pressure here from Gould. With the DRS, let's have a look if Max can make the move with the aid of DRS down this long little straight bit. He heads towards the outside. Looks like he's going to try and go for a cutback. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Gets the DRS and Marshall takes that position. Looks like James is lining up a move on Gainful. Thinks better of it. Looks like James is going to start trying to put a little bit of pressure back onto Gainful as Marshall is trying to put a little bit of pressure on Max there. A few little gaps starting to open up. So Marshall goes around the outside into that quick left-hander, makes it stick, then he's going to come back under pressure from Max. Max takes the move again, but it looks like Marshall's probably going to have DRS down the pit straight as well as Gainful. Gainful's looking to size up Marshall. Goes down the inside. Thinks better of it this time around. Let's see what's going on. There's a little battle between Murph and Gould. Big gap back from play. And there's a little train. There's about 4 cars between them. We'll see how this one plays out as Hound has spun, has lost his end plate. unfortunate for Hound. See how this battle plays out. It looks like Marshall probably tried to make the same move he just did. He's better off it this time round, but he should get him in the next DRS zone. Is he going to go around the outside? No, he thinks better of it. He's going to do it down the pit straight, I'd imagine, full battery. Max is only 50% of battery, Gameful's running low on battery. Nerf is starting to make a few inroads on the back of James. Obviously that DRS at the moment is just helping James stay out. Rebound and Curly going at it. I'm not sure how they've just got through there too wide, but that's impressive. Full send matching into the back of this. Hound is jumped in the pits, I'd imagine that's for a wing change. Full send taking the run off area. Clay has just been passed by Ninja. Ninja showing a half decent bit of pace, but he's going to come under pressure again from Clay. Max is still all over the back of Marshall. He's now going to come under a bit of pressure from Gameful. Gameful's riding on his gearbox and down the inside. He's going to get caught out by Marshall though. Max round the outside of Marshall into the last corner. That was impressive. I don't think either of them got DRS because they were side by side, which is going to jump James into P2. Or he goes down the inside into turn 1. Bit of a wheel. Ooh. James has lost his end plate from that. A little bit of contact between him and Max, but that is going to slow him up through this twisty section. Obviously with not a lot of downforce. Going to make the car very understeery. James will pick up a 3-second penalty. It comes back at Max, and that's going to open the door up to Gameful. And this has brought everyone back into play really, the top 6. There was a lot's taken just down that pit straight. A lot of moves trying to be made. So Hound has retired. It looks like he's lost it through sector 1, that looks like. Through the left-hander. Let's brought out a VSC. Hopefully that's not a full safety car. It's ideal for anyone that needs to recharge. Max is jumping into the pit. We'll see if that's for a wing change or if that's just strategy pull. Goes for hard tyre. Nerf pack jumps in as well. Gould jumps in. Full senders managed to pick up a drive-through penalty. Yeah, I've done the same thing at the weekend, Hound. Just the slightest little touch on the left wheel, it takes it off. It's unfortunate, bud, but one of those things. So let's jump back on board with Marshall and Gameful. It'll be interesting to see what these two do with their strategies now. Obviously, it appears that Max is probably going to get a bit of an undercut on these two, but they're gonna have a tyre offset to Max when they come in. Dan picks up 3 seconds worth of penalties. Absolutely useless. So Marshall makes the move onto Gainful into turn 1. Tyre checks, the only ones that have pit are Nerf Pat, Gould, James Brown, Clay, Chip. Curly and Dan obviously pit as well, so they could go to the end, but their tyres will obviously be a little bit more worn than the rest. Position changes. Wuban's up 7 at the moment, Halsey up 8. Biggest loser so far being James Brown down 5. Obviously did need to change his wing though. So we'll see what happens over the next 17 or so laps. Gainful deploying a little bit of ERS there. Now he's going to get DRS. Overtakes Marshall into turn 1. Marshall not fighting it too hard. These two can work together. They might be able to eat into that undercut of Max when it eventually happens. Obviously providing no safety cars, the VSCs come back out again. Gainful appears to be running higher wings though, obviously struggling through sector 1, which is usually a telltale sign. Marshall has almost a full tank of battery to use. So Marshall now got the DRS on Gainful. So pretty much 100% battery as well. Again, this move is probably going to be fairly easy for Marshall. Goes down the inside of Gainful. Thinks better of it. James Brown has just made the move on Gould. He's got 2.2 seconds to get onto the back of Nerf back. Marshall then takes back P1 from Gainful into turn 1. Not too many battles going on track. Ninja decides to pit. We'll see if that's just for a change tyres. Whether that might be a wing change. That is just to change the tyres. He's jumped onto the hard tyre now. The top 4 are yet to pit. Full Send's yet to pit as well. And Ninja comes out just ahead of Full Send Dave. Marshall's trying to stretch his legs now, trying to break that DRS of Gainful. He's doing a fairly decent job at it. Max has taken out about 2 seconds from Wuban. Obviously with them fresher tyres as well. see what Gameful does here. Looks like he's probably going to try and make the move into turn 1. Goes down the inside. Makes the move stick, going through 1 and 2. Not too much happening, to be fair. Max is now almost within DRS of Wuban. As I say that, he is now in the DRS of Wuban. We'll see what happens with that one. Looks like he's probably going to get the move done in the next, either this DRS or the following one. Marshall looks to be doing the same thing. As Osso gets his usual 3 seconds worth of time penalties. So Marshall goes down the inside of Gameful again. Just switching positions. Max has made the move on Wuban. Wuban has got DRS though. Looks to be going back for the move on Max, but can't get it done there. Nerf Pack overtakes Halsey. Halsey's just coming back out of the pit now. So does James Brown. So there is a 12-second gap from Max to Gameful. So obviously he will grab the undercut. I think it's around 21 seconds here for a pit stop. Yeah, I agree with that. Marshall, it depends really. I think Marshall's trying to hold up for a bit of a safety car. Safety car now would suit Marshall down to the ground. But obviously he's going to have a big tyre offset. So we'll see how it happens. Obviously the tyres, Max has been on them tyres now for 5 laps. Going on 6. We'll see what happens. He's got a bit of clean air now. He's not going to get the help of DRS though to keep pushing him along. So we'll see what happens. Gameful has jumped into the pit, like I say, and that's dropped him all the way back behind James Brown. So yeah, he now needs to start making a few moves. It looks like he's going to go on the attack straight away on James. Get better of it. Nerf Pack is jumping into the DRS of Wuban now. It looks like Nerf is going to get the move done now on Wuban with the DRS. Opens it up. Gets on the ERS as well. Gets the move done before the final corner. See if he can start making a few more inroads into Max. Ruben doesn't appear to be close enough to make that move back on there. So Max could have just called off a really good strategy here by deciding to pit under the VSC. Claire's on the back of Ninja. We'll see how that one plays out as well. Doesn't appear to be too many other battles going on, to be fair. Shit, maybe on Wookie in a minute, which we'll switch over to. Clay's got a decent chunk of battery left to play around with. Also allowed full send to jump onto the back of Clay as well. Gap between the top two is now only 10.6, so it looks like Max taking out about a second a lap on Marshall. Let's just see if Clay can get the move done, whether he's going to do it here on the pit straight. Thought better of it doing it there, so he's going to wait for the pit straight. Here he goes then, down the inside of Ninja. Moves himself into P9. James is all over the back of Wuban as well. Gets a slight snap. He goes down the inside of Wuban. He's now got about 3 seconds to start cutting into Nerfback. Nerfback running quite well in P3 at the moment. Obviously that is a net P2. With Marshall yet to pit, we'll see what Marshall does. Still staying out. Gainful down the inside of Wuban. Gets it done. He's going to have DRS on the back of James. Yeah, I agree there, Northern. So we'll see what happens. We'll see, like I say, safety cars and stuff can play into this. A lot of people on old tyres. It will be easy to lose it. It's not exactly been the most exciting race from my point of view, other than maybe one pit straight where I think James picked up a bit of damage. Other than that, there's not too much going on. Obviously Max is now 9.4 seconds off the back of Marshall. So we'll see what happens. I think he's going to try and play it long, go for the softs, and just hope for the best really, but at the moment that is going to put him maybe just behind Halsey. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It will be interesting. Let's have a look at the penalties. So Gainful has 3 seconds, Dan has 6, Wookie has 3, also Bosso has 3. It's just Wuban, Marshall left to pit now. Marshall does pit, and he chucks on a set of soft tyres to see where he comes out. It'll be tight on the exit of turn 1. Maybe not as tight as what I thought, but he comes behind James Brown. James Brown and Gameful are fighting, so he needs to clear those two quick. If he's got any hope of trying to latch onto the back of Max. Oh, as we lost Clay. That is a safety car. We've lost Clay on turn 4, turn 3, turn 4. Horrible corner, absolutely horrible corner. So that may have just played into Marshall's hands there. We'll see what the top 3 do. Whether they decide to pit, obviously them guys have been on their tyres. Yeah, 10 laps for Max, 10 laps for Murph, Gameful only 4, 10 for James. The top 2, top 3, top 4 have stayed out. Halsey decides to pit, Wuban decides to pit. We'll see if anyone else joins them in the pit box. Ninja stays out. See what Chip does. Chip stays out. Dan decides to pit. Let's see what tyres he decides to chuck on. He chucks on a fresh set of mediums. So depending on what the deg is like here, Marshall could be sitting in a good position. Depends what sort of restart he can get, if we can start the carnage of the first 2 laps of the restart. We probably have one more lap behind the safety car. Just to allow everyone to bunch back up again. Dan has left the session. A fireman invite. This could be his connection issues again popping up, which isn't ideal. There he is, he's joined back again. So hopefully this will be the last lap behind the safety car before we can get racing again. Just gotta wait for everyone to bunch back up. I believe it's about 10 laps, Harvey. Let me have a look for you, bud. Yeah, it's about 10 laps of difference in the tyres. Obviously this is going to help Marshall with not having to put too much deg on him. But it depends on how quickly you can clear James, Gameful and latch onto the back of Max. You are correct, sauce on, brains off. Although to be fair, Marshall does have a bit of a brain, so I'd like to think he's not going to do anything stupid in this position. Yeah, it's not ideal play. I've done exactly the same thing, mate, as you've probably seen in the incident channel. Just clip the inside of the wall and it just takes the wheel completely off. Yeah, Gainful is in a decent position, Harvey. We'll see what happens. Obviously, Marshall's going to have the better grip out of them all, but they are going to go off fairly quick around it. Yeah, definitely. Pen definitely doesn't help him, especially this late safety car as well. Trying to build 3 seconds is a bit of a nightmare, but there it is. Safety car in this lap message. It's just come in. So let's make sure that Max can back the pack up enough to not let his throttle cut out. So let's see what Max can do. See what Marshall can do and Gainful. Looks like Max is going to take it to the line. And off he goes. Let's see what happens here then between everyone. Gainful looks like he's going to try and make the move early doors. James manages to get through, and now that's going to put Gainful under pressure from Marshall. Marshall thinks better of it this time around, sensible thinking. Nerve goes off the track, and it's just about managed to keep it in front of James there. Marshall looks to be trying to go around the outside of Gainful, doesn't quite get it done there. Ninja goes up or Howes goes up the inside of Ninja. Dave manages to get past Chip. Max is really pushing it, trying to build that gap. It looks like he's out of DRS from Nerf. Gainful is thinking about the move from James. Can't get it done there. Let's see if we can get it done into turn 1. It goes down the inside of James. Good move there. And that is another safety car. That is James and Gainful getting tangled up. Yeah, it certainly does help Marshall out, mate, yeah. It's, wasn't quite paying attention on that one. There's someone banging outside my window. Sorry about that. Well, hopefully we'll only have this lap behind the safety car. I can't see why there'll be any more laps after that, but yeah, I do agree, Harvey, that's helped Marshall out definitely. See, 10 lap tyre offset. He's probably done 3 of them behind the safety car. So Curly and Gainful has decided to pit. Obviously Gainful's was for a wing change. I haven't seen myself trying this like message. It looks like we're probably going to have one more lap behind it, which will basically just give us a 2-lap sprint and 3-lap sprint. Let's have a little look at position changes. Howsy up 7, down up 7, Wookie up 5, Wooman up 5. Decent enough drive there from nice back as well, up 3. Full send up 6, Jennifer down 11. Marshall down 2. Waiting still for the safety car to come in. And we'll be a 2-lap sprint out. Safety car is in. This lap we'll see what Max does again. Backing the pack up quite nicely. And away he goes. Marshall all over the back of Merck already. Ninja pulls out the slipstream of Gould, manages to get the move done. Someone blows extremely late there, I can see who it was. That would have been interesting. Dan and the two provider coming together. Merck drivers wiping each other out. We have a word about that after the race. Let's see what Marshall does then. Yeah, he's got the fresher tyres out, a lot of them. Apart from Housie, I think he's got decent enough tyres as well. Yeah, Halsey makes the move on Marshall. Ninja makes the move on Marshall as well. That hasn't helped him out one bit. Not at all. Halsey's now going to go on the attack on Nerf. This is giving a bit of a gap to Max. We'll see what Max can do. Here we go then. Halsey is deploying every bit of ERS he's got. So is Nerfpack. Nerfpack thinks about the move. Doesn't quite get it done there. Halsey goes a little bit deep into turn one. Halsey is literally pushing Nerfpack through now. Is he going to try and make the move? Thinks better of it that time. Tries to go around the outside. Not going to get it done there. He is going to have the better traction out of most of these corners now, which has allowed Max to scamper off. Max now a second away. How's he giving it everything he's got? Marshall still has half his battery left. Nerfpack still with a half decent amount of battery. Marshall then goes for the move on Halsey. He's going to have the ERS advantage. So that is about it. It's going to be... as long as nothing stupid happens here, it's going to be Max crossing the line in P1. Nerfpack P2. Marshall P3. Halsey P4. Ruban P5. Ninja P6. Good drive from Ninja there. 16 black old tyres. Full send, I think, come P7. I'll give you a full rundown of all the results in just a second. You're just going to see your top three on the podium. Max collecting his trophy. It's a good drive there from Max in the end. Nerf P2, Marshall P3, Halsey P4, Wuban P5, Ninja P6, Dave P7, Curly P8, Gould P9, Gameful P10, Chip P12, P11, Osso P12, with Dan, Wookie, James Brown, Clay and Hound not finishing the race. So we will now invite your top three, which is Nerf, Marshall and Max, for their podium interview. Just Max, Marshall, Nerfpack. We'll see if they join or not. So, not an overly exciting race from obviously a comms point of view, but entertaining enough. Safety cars played into it. Obviously Max taking a win there. It was a solid drive from him and Nerfpack. Marshall looked to be in prime position after obviously going forward and Gameful and James is coming together, but couldn't quite capitalise. It's unfortunate. We'll give it another couple of minutes, see if anyone joins. Nerf pack has joined, unfortunately.
How rude. I don't think you've sent Maxwell.
I've sent him 2 now, bud.
Oh.
Terrible, this, isn't it?
Oh, is it this one?
No. Notifications.
Hold on. I'll send him one now, mate.
Oh, it's
We'll just wait for Max to get in.
There you are.
Is it that one?
No. Wait, I'll add you.
You really?
Yeah, go on. There you go, join. There he is.
Super stuff. We are joined by your podium sitters. Obviously, Marshall P3, Nerfpack P2, and Max P1. Obviously, we'll start with Marshall. Good evening, bud.
Evening, how do's?
Not too bad, mate, yourself?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Obviously, going along on the medium tyres, safety car sort of played into your hands a little bit. Talk us through it from your point of view. We thought you all had prime position at one point, especially when obviously Gameful and James had their coming together. And just talk us through it, mate. What happened?
Yeah, first of all, thank you, and well done, Nerfpack, and on the win, Max. Well done, gents.
Cheers, bud.
Yeah, that the first VSC where Max went in, I think is lap 5. I think it's me and Gameful stayed out. I think Max and James went in, and I was thinking, I was like, I should have went in. And I carried on going in the mediums. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what do I do now? I'm like, get to lap 12, and I'm like, okay, it's either hards now or I'm gonna have to push and just go for softs. So yeah, I stayed on the mediums until lap 16. They felt fine, to be honest, and Max wasn't gaining too much time on me, but I needed some laps to try and gain it back. So lap 16, end of lap 16, I went in for softs. Literally, as I'm coming out the pits, the safety car comes out, and I'm down in 5th behind some great drivers who are really good at battling. I'm like, no, if I can wait half a lap. But it always happens, doesn't it?
It does, that's the way it is.
And then, yeah, that was the first one, and it was close with Gameful and James. And I saw them go off. I think it's me and Halsey on softs behind, then Nerfpack and Max. And I'm thinking to myself, right, they're clear. It's just it should just be a yellow flag, maybe a VSC at the most. And we've got some laps to go and chase them down. But no, full safety car. I'm like, no. Yeah, I think if that safety car didn't come out, it would have been a hell of a lot closer at the end. And I think they would have been doing a lot of hard defending, as I know they would have.
It was hard. It was hard anyway because my hards were really cold. So the first sector was really slow. I think at the first time James and Gameful making so much time up on me. But then sector 2 and 3 I was leaving them. I just had no heat after the safety cars.
Yeah, and then obviously that final safety car didn't give us enough time to do anything.
No, it was just a 2-lap sprint, and it was always going to be difficult from that position. But again, it was a good performance. Good performance from you, bud, and I was really impressed with your ERS management tonight. That was Very good.
Yeah, cheers. I normally try and keep it above 70 where I can, but most of it was probably 90%, if not above.
Yeah, it
yeah,
was most of the race, to be fair, bud. Yeah, but
that's
again,
it.
good drive, and
I think,
it's more points, another podium for you as well.
indeed. Thanks so much. And yeah, well done to Max for Friday as well. Awesome driving Friday.
Yeah, thank you.
So we'll now move on to, unfortunately, Nerf Pack. Jesus Christ.
We speak again.
Oh, God's sake.
Can't get away from me.
Another good drive, bud. Obviously, qualifying probably not as high as what you'd like to be.
No, I just couldn't get a lap together. I kept losing it at one point or another. I just put one lap in Q1. Q2, I put one lap in, but I was going down and down. I think I'd have ended up P9 behind Hound maybe if I hadn't gone out a second time.
Yeah.
And then Q3, I had 2 fresh slots. Just couldn't put a lap together. But it is what it is. I started 6th, I think.
It's not obviously terrible, but it's not obviously ideal from where you probably want to be. You'd want to be nearer the front, but sort of it played into your hands that VSE, didn't it? Obviously,
it did,
pitting along with Max and.
Well, I knew from Friday's race that the mediums you could pit on lap 4 or 5 and then go on hards to the end. So I knew as soon as we got to lap 5 or whatever it was, then the hards would go. So that was it. VSC came out. Let's box. We went in, we did it, and we came out. And yeah, I think that was P6 again, P7, something like that. But then I realised Marshall hadn't pitted and he was still on mediums, and I didn't expect him to be up on the podium with us once I saw that.
I think there was about 4 or 5 drivers that hadn't pitted at that point. They obviously decided to try and stay out and go as long as they can before pitting. But
I think that's the advantage of racing on Sunday, because you see what happens on the Friday.
Yeah, definitely.
Massive advantage.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Good battle at the end there, Marshall. I was fighting you hard there.
Yeah, mate, you were. I was like, was it coming out of before effectively the first DRS though, not the home straight?
Yes.
I caught the curb on the left, so you go right then left.
Yes.
I caught the curb, ended up in the wall with a bit of wing damage. And
I saw you in the mirror.
You got past me.
Well, I saw them get past, and I didn't expect you to be on the podium, but obviously you've made a move on them on the last lap.
Yeah, I made a move pretty quickly on them, to be fair.
Yeah. No offence, but I did that a loud sheer when I saw you in the mirror.
Mate, I would have done the same moves the other way around.
All good intentions, though.
Indeed.
Cheers, bud.
Congrats.
Again, bud, good podium for you, Nerf, and
cheers.
Nice to see you back up there again, bud. Obviously, you've had a few weeks probably where the results haven't gone your way, and I know you missed a week, but
yeah.
Good to see you back on the podium, mate.
Cheers.
And now we join your race winner this evening, Max. Good evening, bud.
Yeah, good evening.
How are you, mate? That was a good strategy call from you in the end, boxing that early, and obviously the safety cars. I'd imagine you're probably sweaty a little bit now, aren't you?
Yeah, very. I learned on Friday that I pitted lap 5 and the hards went to the end. So the VSC came out and my first thought was just box.
It was a great call from you, to be fair, mate. I thought maybe towards the end, had Marshall pitted a couple of laps earlier, and obviously the safety cars didn't come out, it would have been a bit touch and go for you, but I think maybe the safety cars played into your hands, and obviously you showed good pace Friday as well, and you've shown good pace again tonight. Obviously, just missing out on pole, I believe, to Marshall.
Yeah, it was like a 10th or something.
But again,
yeah, we didn't quite replicate our Friday laps, did we, Max?
No.
Oh, you two, give it a rest, will you? Some of us didn't even get out of Q2.
It's rough, that.
But no, it was another really good performance from you, Max. Obviously, I think you should, obviously, post-race penalties dependent, you should increase your gap on the guys behind. So it's been a real good season from you again, bud. Showing good pace, and looks like you're improving your race strategy and racecraft, racing on race. So it's good to see, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers for the comms, Lookman. I'm going to go in and watch you back, so
Oh, I
Yeah, so
wouldn't
am I.
I wouldn't if
Should
I
be
was
good.
you, lads. I'd save your time.
Cheers for stepping in, appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate that, man.
Yeah, that was awful.
It's
But
never awful when people watch it. It's all good.
appreciate your kind words, lads. But
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you all go, and hopefully you lot can join us on Friday for Tier 1 and Tier 2, where you'll be able to learn a bit about comms from my old mate Nerfpack. If not, obviously join us for next Sunday at the same time of 8 o'clock, and we are racing at Abu Dhabi. I have been your comms this evening, King Luckman, joined by your podium sitters. Appreciate you joining in, and see you next week.